has created some of the best-selling, technically proficient, and visually impressive games of the last decade. But 20 years ago, Tim Sweeney's company wasn't so, well, epic.
So back in 1991, I started writing a game up and I released it in November 1991 just as shareware. I was stunned to be getting several orders a day for the game. I saw the opportunity and the business grew from there.
At the time, the boardroom table was his mother and father's kitchen table, and it was Epic Mega Games. I met Tim Sweeney. He asked me if I'd come work for Epic. The first thing I did the first day on the job was call Cliff Bleszinski and try to get him to come and work with us.
I got involved with Epic way back in like 92 or 93. This was when we first had BBSs, we first had CompuServe, and we were working in a virtual office.
In the early 1990s, Epic was developing a bunch of really cool 2D games with small teams. We had Jazz Jackrabbit, Epic Pinball, and other things like that. But then id Software came out with Wolfenstein and then Doom, and we saw that, wow, 3D games are the future of the industry. And so Cliff Bleszinski, the Jazz Jackrabbit developer, James Schwartz, the creator of Epic Pinball, and myself all got together and started the project that became Unreal.
Development began in 1996 on Epic Mega Games' first 3D game.
With Unreal, we wanted to create the best 3D game ever built. And from the moment we released our first screenshots onward, we were seen as the contender who was going to come up and try to dethrone id with beautiful graphics and a very different style of game.
We were building a game to compete with the best games out there, to look better than any game that had come before it. Unreal was our first large-scope game. I mean, we certainly were biting off more than we could chew.
There was a time period during the first Unreal when that project dragged on for like 3.5 years, and we were running out of money.
At one point, Epic was being funded largely by Mark Rain's credit card.
Luckily, we managed to pull the game together and ship it.
I'm very proud that we were able to achieve that. We decided, okay, we've really achieved this. We can call ourselves just Epic Games now.
Now with a new name and a new office in Cary, North Carolina, Epic Games created their biggest hit yet, Unreal Tournament, which blasted onto PCs on November 30th, 1999.
That was a real turning point for the company because Unreal Tournament was even more successful than Unreal. And, it wasn't another 5-year project. Within another year and a half, we had Unreal Tournament out the door, and it was hugely successful.
I just slaughtered that guy.
So when UT came out and ultimately outsold Quake 3, it was a huge victory for us. And ever since then, we've just gone on to do cooler and cooler things.
Unreal made Epic famous to gamers, but their next title would make them icons.
This is going to be awesome.